Good morning, everybody. Another week's gone by, and so this week I just wanted to share with you in Matthew 5:38, where Christ is talking about retaliation. Before I read the verses, I want to just clarify um, when Christ talks about this, he's not talking to the government or to the army or to police, but he's talking to us as individuals. How do we handle ourselves um, when confronted with somebody who maybe treats us poorly, or says comments to us that really get under our skin. And so that's who he's focusing on these verses, is for us personally, on the interactions we have with people day to day. So I'm just going to read starting at verse 38. You have heard it. You've heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your cheek, turn the other to him also. If anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, let him have your coat also. Whoever forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks of you, and do not turn away from him who wants to borrow from you. And so we see that, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. We see that, we're saying in the Old Testament, but Christ is saying, don't allow an evil act to cause us to do something evil. We don't want to retaliate or have vengeance on anybody, because we know in Hebrews 10:30, and I believe it's Romans 12:19, they both say that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And so we know God is the one who can do that. He's the only one that has the right to take vengeance on anybody. And so for us, and it is hard, family, there's people around us, maybe somebody we know or a coworker that really gets under our skin, says those kind of backhanded comments, or for whatever reason. We know it's hard. I got my family growing up, my grandparents and my aunt and so on. They it's hard for them to forgive. They like to something happened, or something was said they didn't like. There was always the attitude of where they don't like you and they wouldn't talk to you, right? And so as Christians, we don't want to kind of have that heart. We want to clear that up, because we know the world will act like that. They're lost. They don't know any better. But for us as Christians, we got to act like Christ. We know Christ's example when he was here on earth, how he didn't punch somebody back or spit on them when what was happening to him, or those the words that were said to him that weren't true. He didn't attack back. He just was there and quiet. And so for us, it is hard, but we have to make sure that we don't allow our pride or our hatred to grow and to retaliate back to somebody. And because when we do, we don't say uplifting words. We say things that are hurtful, and just as that person, the words that they say to us, or hurtful words or tearing down words, that's what we say back, and we can't show Christ when we do that. And so for us, we got to be like Christ and not allow that to get under our skin, and for us to act in a way that we're sinning, and we have to go back and apologize. And so I'm not saying we can't be 100% perfect on this, but this is something we have to really work on and understand. People, when they say things, they're hurting inside. And so a lot of times when people say things to us, it's not really meant for us. It's just them acting out because of an insecurity or fear. So for us, we got to just look at people and say, yeah, they're lost, they're hurting, and for us to be like Christ and say, okay, I can take that. I got big shoulders because of Christ, and I can show them a different way of life. I can show them love. I can show them somebody who has mercy and doesn't act out in anger because somebody said something to me. And also Christ talks about here going, if anybody wants to, so you take your shirt, or let them have your coat also. We know, people in the streets, people who have things of need, for us to, we can give things. We have lots here in Canada here, and so, not to have a big fights and we have things, or not to hold things on. And even the last verse, don't turn away anybody who wants to borrow something from you. right? We just want to make sure. Now, we're not, he's not saying it's just give whoever asks of you, just give it without even using any kind of wisdom. No, what he's saying is, if somebody needs to borrow something or needs something of yours, for us not to covet that more important than the person. We know things have no meaning; they have no value. People do, and we know that because Christ, he died for us, and so the value is on us, and so we don't want to covet things, material things, items, more than a person. So we want to have a heart that's willing to give for the right reasons. Now, people just walk up to you and say, "I want this, I want that." Just being selfish. No, we can't. That's not wisdom there and wise. Or even a homeless person, right? We always know, give them cash maybe isn't the wisest thing if they have any kind of addictions. So there's other things we can do is have clothing or offer them food to make sure that they get the need that they need. So yeah, just for us to just check our heart. That's basically it. When we're faced with people who are attacking us, or people that maybe a stranger and they've had a bad day and they snap at us, and take those opportunities to show Christ. And you know what? One time they're going to have a conversation with somebody, and they're going to see you being different, and that's what Christ wants us. We have to look different than the world, and this is one of the ways that we can look different in the world, is to stand back and always love. And it's hard sometimes, but we have to do that love that Christ does for us, because He forgives us. We do these things every day to Christ. All right, we're not perfect, and we still sin, and Christ still forgives us. And so He's just asking us to do that to others, so that they can see Him through us, and that they can have that hope that we have. And so for us, it's to even walk away, or just take a moment just to collect yourself, or even have us pray for you if you're having a difficult time. But the things we can do to make sure that we can be that light to the world, and not covet the material things that the world does, but I'll offer it up for people who are actually in need, and to show that love as well. So I hope everybody has a good week again, and hopefully soon, cross our fingers that we can get back together soon. And I know I'm looking forward to that, and so hopefully soon we can just see each other in person and not watching videos. So have a good day, and we'll see you next week.